Hello, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Welcome to your general tarot reading. This will be a reading for the Earth signs. Please come into it with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something and better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate, feel free to push them aside. You may want to revisit them at a later date. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice or guidance. All that being said, let's try and have some fun and get you some helpful, insightful messages. All right, for Earth signs. So I'm going to read this as past, present, future, and what you need to release and what you need to embrace. All right, let's see. So bottom of your deck is the sun. So that's a good overall energy. The sun is about our joy, our happiness, our creativity, our childlike spirit, right? It can also be about quite literally children. So then, let's see, we have 9 of Cups. So I like that. That's coming up in your past to the 7 of Cups. So some sort of long-term goal or wish that's finally kind of coming true. Even if it hasn't fully manifested, it's like you're chipping away at the block and you're starting to see progress. But something about that has led you down a path where you're forced to make another decision and you're not really sure how to go. So it could be that this is all very non-specific to me right now because, I am grouping you Earth signs together. So sometimes that happens. It's a more general message, but it's almost like by taking a certain path and achieving what you wanted to achieve, it presented you with an outcome that you weren't necessarily anticipating or expecting. That being said, with the 9 of Cups, it's still very much in alignment with your long-term goals and what you want, but you may have hit like a roadblock in terms of a decision that you have to make because emotionally you might not be exactly certain which path to take from here. It's almost like the fork in the road. That's a really good metaphor for this. It's like you've reached a certain point and it's almost like maybe you didn't think ahead to this point. Well, now that I have what I want or that I've achieved what I've achieved, I'm kind of at this weird crossroads. And now it's like I could go this way with it or I could choose to do this or there may be more than 2 options. I say the fork in the road as a metaphor, but... And then you have the devil coming in your future. I don't know why, this just makes me laugh. The devil's smoking a cigarette. It's just like, he's had a rough day, man. Oh, that's funny. That might represent a Capricorn coming into your life in the near future. It may or may not. We're going to dig deeper into that. I kind of have to look at the overall story here. So then what you need to release is the 10 of Swords. Instantly from this, I get like your pessimistic attitude. And I know that's hard to say to an Earth sign, right? Because you guys are like, I'm not negative, I'm realistic, like I'm practical. And I'm not going to argue with you there. But that being said, something about this, it's requiring you to like really lean into the positive sides of what could be versus all the things that could go wrong. There's a couple things with that 10 of Swords too. But instantly what I've heard is like, worrying and fretting over like fatalistic outcomes or, well, what if I choose this path and I fail? Or, what if I choose to invest in this person and they fail me? All that negative thinking isn't necessarily helping you. And what you believe, you manifest, right? So you may as well lean into that positive. Everything is great. Everything is wonderful. I'm manifesting every day. I'm getting what I want. The universe loves me. I love the universe back. That type of vibe. And then what you need to embrace is the Chariot. So like your inner warrior spirit. This is, I hate to sound cheesy, but this is like your can-do attitude. This is like, I got this. Like, nothing will stand in my way. Like, I'm going to conquer this shit, right? I really like that. That seems cool. I don't know if this is going to make sense for everyone, but sort of a message I get here is you need to let go of a lifestyle that isn't bringing you joy and happiness and fulfillment. Some of you may be reassessing what it is that makes you happy and maybe something you were working towards for a while. Again, when you start to achieve it and live that lifestyle or work that job, you're still kind of left feeling like jaded and a little bit like this isn't what I thought it would be. And I think an important message here is that that's okay. It's completely valid for you to feel that way. I think it has to be consistent enough where it's not just like, you're having a rough week or a rough month. But for some of you, it's like you're kind of awestruck by the fact that something you knew you wanted, you've maybe changed your mind about because it doesn't feel as fulfilling as you thought it would. And so the universe is saying, great, now that we know that, we need to course correct, right? We need to put an end to something that isn't bringing us joy or, again, change it, transform it into a way where it does bring us joy. It's more than just seeing the I'm hearing like alternate side of the coin or the bright side. It's more than, it has nothing to do with sort of changing a belief in order to make yourself believe that it's what you want. I mean, you just know. Anytime there's cups, it's like your intuition is telling you something. I'm also sort of getting the idea of like your body is kind of trying to communicate to you those aches and pains or those things you're feeling. It's your body saying like, I'm not happy. We need to change this. We need to fix this. Yeah, so some of you, there may be an upcoming career change, and it might be very opposite or different or alternative to what you're currently pursuing. That's not for all of you, of course. Others of you, there seems to be like a side hobby or side hustle or something you just, yeah, something you simply do for pleasure or fun that you've kind of like spend some time thinking about it, and when you really shed light on it, when you invest time and energy in it, you're like, oh my God, this could actually be lucrative. Like, I do this naturally anyway. It's almost just like your God-given talent. It's something that you do easily and effortlessly. Something that maybe you've taken for granted in the past. All of a sudden, I don't know if somebody, especially a Capricorn or a Cancer, is like an initiator being like, hey, like you should do this professionally. And at minimum, I'll say the seeds have been sown for you to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, maybe I could. I think you're still in that kind of process or that stage of like marinating, sowing the seeds and being like, but could I? Like, what would this look like? Again, instead of looking at all the fatalistic outcomes or all the reasons why you could fail or why you shouldn't do this or why it's too risky, this week anyway, Earth signs, I just got to spin it for you like I see it. You're being told to really embrace that inner warrior spirit of like, I can do anything. It doesn't matter what obstacles or challenges you hit me with. Like, I got this. Like, I will move forward with this. And that's if you want to. It's not to say that all of you are going to choose to do that, because I think that's important to say too. Just because you love something and you're good at it, some of you are like, but it's so precious to me. That's my outlet for like recuperation after the week, that I don't want to mix business and pleasure. Like, I don't want to put a price tag on that because it's going to ruin that hobby for me and then I won't enjoy it. Again, that's a little bit of this. That's a little bit of, okay, well, that's one side of it. But I would say give this some time, but really, journal about it for, if nothing else, meditate on it. Because this is unlocking some sort of door that was sort of like a mental block in your mind of something, again, another avenue or stream of income that's possible, or starting a class, teaching other people how to do this, starting an Etsy. For some of you, it seems very creative. And with the devil, it could just simply mean that idea of sort of that Capricornian 10th house energy of like, this could become like this could become a status for you out in the world. This could become a job title. This could become some sort of recognition you get for something that you put yourself out there for. This is so stupid, but I can't stop focusing on the cigarette, and I am not a proponent of smoking. Obviously, I'm not encouraging anybody to do that, but I just heard that really stupid, what is it? Like, it's smoking. Is that from The Mask or something? Anyway, if you're not familiar with the reference, it's just kind of a cheesy way of being like, yeah, like it's on fire. It's awesome. It's smoking. And I feel like the universe is trying to get you to laugh. I feel like the universe is trying to get you to look at this and being like, this is something you enjoy and it's fun and it makes you want to like, skip through the field and with your dog and like, it makes you happy, right? For some of you, it may be a business involving children or animals or, again, teaching, especially an art teacher. I'm getting art teacher for a lot of you, but obviously not all of you. Spreading your joy through your career, through your passion, through your hobby. I think the universe is saying like, this is fire. This is a good idea. This is smoking. This is really good. It's something that like you're easily above the rest. Like you smoke the competition, right? Without even really having to try that hard. For a lot of you, it's like you've never considered doing this because it's so old hat, because it's so, it's something you do naturally and easily. And some of you are slowly starting to discover that, you know what, like, yeah, maybe I am good at this and I should invest more time doing it because it makes me happy. I think it's good for your body. It's good for your mind. It's good for your soul. It's a really good outlet for you to like relieve stress. But wouldn't it be great if you worked in a career or had a job or whatever this is where you really didn't have much stress because you love what you do. And because you love what you do, you want to do it more and there's more income. Do you see like that chain effect? Anyway, that's one storyline coming through. Um, let's see how else I can view this. Yeah, and some of you, if you haven't discovered that thing you want to go after in the world, that's coming. That being said, some of you, you're sort of at that disillusionment with just where you're at, and you're sort of at this crossroads where I don't really have a clear idea of how to move forward. I just know that I'm not content, like I'm not happy. I'm not loving life the way I used to. Um, So some of you definitely need to be aware of those sort of thoughts and ideas and triggers, especially of like depression or anxiety. Definitely seek out counseling or, someone that can help you with that, even if that's just talking with a friend or a family member or something like that. With the Ten of Swords, we always got to be careful, right? Because that can be a lot of unhealthy, negative thoughts that are just really weighing on us. But with that though, there's always the idea that you can transform those thoughts. You can change those thoughts. You can change those beliefs. You can do something proactive with those negative thoughts, right? And turn it into something that becomes like your wounds become your wisdom, that type of thing. Very empowered energy with the Chariot. So if you are feeling disillusioned and lost, it's okay. You're not alone, right? There's a lot of people probably who are in the same spot you are. That being said, you can't force or rush a solution, especially in a career, right? When you're just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm lost. If that's where you're at, your advice of the Chariot is go and get lost for a few days. Like, go immerse yourself in something that makes you happy with no intent of finding your job or your sole purpose or your new group of friends or your new dating prospect, right? Just go out and do something simply for pleasure, because you're putting yourself out there as sort of like a magnet to attract things and people and situations that are going to vibe back at you. And meaning like avenues where you could potentially discover something about yourself. That's really what this is with the Sun energy. The Ten of Swords is Sun in Gemini. So illuminating the idea of changes of thought patterns too, that's coming through. Changing up sales roles too. Sometimes, especially we're in Virgo season, so that Mercury retrograde, it's affecting, especially placements in Gemini and Virgo. But that can have to do with sales, that can have to do with education, technology. So if you're in careers involving that, or, something involving that where you're kind of like there's a change up, there's a switch up. Some of you, it feels like your company is changing directions and you're no longer on board with their mission, and you're kind of just like, I got to get out of here, but I don't know how. With the Devil coming in, I have to be honest, for a lot of you, it does feel like a change of career. A lot of you, there does seem to be, I can't help but know unhealthy behaviors too. So for some of you, it's not necessarily that you're choosing to participate in something, it's not all of you are, addicted to a toxic substance. For some of you, that's possible. Others of you, it more has to do with your thought pattern and sort of getting out of this repetitive cycle of anxiety and depression, and sort of needing to see the light that there is a way out of this. But again, being your own best advocate of seeking those outlets to work your way through it, right? You don't just want to sit in that, because that can be very, very unhealthy, right? Not good for your soul. You want to shine bright like the sun. All right. I'm looking to see what else I can pull from this. Yeah, some of you are being undervalued, underpaid, overworked, with the Devil, the more negative connotation of that, like the big guy on top is like, using the little worker bees until they're, just run down and overexerting themselves, in which case, yeah, that has to stop. It's almost like your body is suffering because of this, and like the simple act of saying no or choosing an alternate route or I don't even know if it's having a conversation. To me, there's a lot of freedom here of moving away from something. This could also be in a relationship too. Some of you might be involved with a partner who is having substance abuse issues. Again, the path you take to address that or move away from it or try and change that, it's going to be a little bit different for all of you. So I can't unanimously say you're all going to do this. But there does need to be an ending or a stopping to that unhealthy, toxic behavior, or especially if you're in like an abusive relationship. The universe is saying like that has to end. We got to fix that. But again, it's what you're leaning into, what you're meant to embrace here is the Chariot. So leaning into that really empowered, warrior spirit of like, I am going to pull through this. I am going to move forward despite the obstacles. Yeah, with that, Capricorn, Cancerian energy, it's There's some Gemini and Leo here too, just for people who are looking for confirmations and signs. Um, the polarity we associate with Cancerian energy, so maternal energy, the house, the home, tradition, family, roots, ancestry. Also, we think of the moon rules Cancer, right? So the daily change up, the daily fashions of the people and what we're feeling, what we're experiencing based on the stars and astrology. That's very Cancerian. And then Capricorn energy is that kind of 10th house career, ambition, drive, what you work towards, your status in the world, your reputation, your legacy, what you're known for. So it's that moon Saturn. It's also can be associated with boss figures, father figures, authority figures. So there could be a change up of authority figures coming in. It could also be the change up of you taking more authority for your own path, your own destiny, your own life. Some of you may be leaning into the idea of motherhood or a more maternal energy. Again, mother and child here. Some of you may be at odds with a partner and feeling like you need to get out of something for the what is a good word for it? For the sake of your child, right? If your child is in an unhealthy situation, there might be some sort of ultimatum with your partner. But I have to be honest, a lot of you, it seems like you're taking a different path. It seems like you're getting out of a situation that isn't necessarily the healthiest. And more power to you, right? Because that's not always easy. Others of you stepping into a career or a role that is more maternal by nature, where you're helping people, you're guiding people, you're nurturing people, you're showing them the way, you're showing them how you did it. It could be life coaching, it could be teaching, it could be being a care assistant or a nurse, or do you understand what I mean? Something that's a little bit more intuitive and feminine and caring, that I think would bring you a lot of joy. It would feel more meaningful for sure. So, all right, let's give you an animal card. Something else, my earth signs. It's funny, there's so much Capricorn energy with the devil. I feel like either there's a lot of Capricorns tuning in or I don't know, some of you are just dealing with there's a lot of Capricorns out there in this storyline anyway. We'll see what the earth signs need. The peacock, interesting. I associate that with Leo. So interesting if Leo may factor into this for some of you. I'm going to read from the book. Only I could find it. Butterfly, firefly, hummingbird. Whoops, I think I just passed it. Peacock, there we go. Inner beauty, compassion, assimilator of anything. The beauty of the peacock is unrivaled. It's easy to think it comes from its plumage, but the secret of the peacock is that the beauty resides within and extends outward indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest all experiences in life, so it does not harbor resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. The peacock type is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of the self and others. When in balance, this card is confident and kind. When out of balance, it cannot digest situations. To bring into balance, meditate. All right, and last but not least, we'll give you an angel number. So just confirmations again, look for it on license plates, receipts, clocks, anywhere where you think the universe might be trying to communicate with you. You have a couple sevens, so something about the number 7 may be significant. 77, a parent maybe reaching the age of 77, the year 1977. I'm not sure what that is. Here we go. 13, I am confident. You are a conscientious worker with a knack for coming up with creative ideas and turning them into something real. An optimistic but practical outlook, exactly, practical but optimistic. Let's really lean into that. That's important. An optimistic but practical outlook keeps you determined and on track as you work steadily towards your goal. All right, Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, thanks for joining me for this tarot reading. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, book a personal reading if you want me to tap into your energy and get a more specific reading. Other than that, I will see you very soon for more tarot. Thanks, guys. Bye.